Hi, I'm Angeline. We're transitioning from summer to fall, the weather's changing, and this week we're looking at ways that we can morph into a new season with good energy and good intentions, using some of the major energy influences that we as humans have. And so let's jump right into it and see what we're dealing with today. You can find yourself in any of these energies. These are all human experience energies that we all have, and every day we probably experience some level of them, so you can always find yourself in this reading. Think about a time when the ideas I'm about to present apply to you, either today or just in general, and how you can apply this to your life in a productive way. Today, you're working with the energy of the High Priestess. That is your intuition, but your intuition at its highest, purest, most initiative level. The High Priestess is at a level of human evolution just before creation. It's the impulse to create. It's not actually creating anything, but it's the impulse to create. It's the knowing. It's the formation of an idea. It's that little bump of love that it takes to move something forward toward making it happen. And it's all intuition. Because nothing has been made yet, there's nothing to work with, right? It's just all possibility and gathering your forces within yourself to create something. That's what this energy is. It's that feeling that you have in you when you know you have an opportunity to just change your career. It's not going to hurt you in any way. And like maybe you've just retired, and you're like, what do I want to devote the next 20 years to? Oh, it could be anything. It's this frisson of life, right? That's just bubbling under you, just waiting to feel what it wants to poof into reality. That's the energy we're dealing with. Perfect for the change of a season. So think about where that energy is appearing in your life. And now let's look at some ways that other energies within you are affecting that frisson. I like the word frisson. Frisson. Because that sounds like what it is, right? Onomatopoeia. It sounds like a little frisson coming from inside you. What is affecting this High Priestess seeker in you? The Judgment. Wow. Yesterday, it's so interesting because yesterday's reading had the High Priestess affected by, had Judgment affected by the High Priestess. And today we have the High Priestess affected by Judgment. I think it's interesting that those two cards came up 2 days in a row. I think it does have something to do with the season and the new possibilities that we feel coming up as the seasons are changing. It sort of starts to feel like new starts are possible. I like that feeling personally. So you have the High Priestess, that frisson, affected by Judgment, and in a positive way. It's your good judgment, your discernment is positively affecting your impulse to seek out something to create. Perfect. What might be interfering with this movement towards the impulse towards something new? What could be a block, a challenge? Hope. A high level of hope, spiritual hope, faith. Thinking about how people before you, your ancestors may have done it, or people before you who you've seen come before you, the grandfathers, how they may have done things. Let's get what the combination for that is to clarify it a little bit more. The Hermit. So if taken alone, you have the Star being supported by a slight resistance in looking to your inner self for the answer. Okay. So what these cards are saying is the challenge to you finding what your own inner guidance wants you to look for is that you're a little bit you're not trusting your own impulses, your own inner guidance a little bit. You're a little bit distrustful of that because of how you have seen people do it in the past. You aspire to some ideal that you have seen play out with people before. So it makes you know that turned out well for them, and so you think maybe that's what you should do. So let's use our retirement example, just for the sake of discussion. You've seen your grandparents retire to Florida where they took up golf and pinochle or something. And you think, okay, I've retired, maybe that's what I should do. I think that turned out well. They seemed really happy for the rest of their life, and they had a lovely life, and I enjoyed them. So maybe that's what I should do. I hope I could have a life as good as theirs. But is it really what's organic from you? Maybe you would prefer to spend your retirement in elder hostels in Europe, riding bikes across various country borders. That might be really what's from inside you. And just because you've never seen anybody do that before doesn't mean that it isn't exactly right for you. If this is a relationship, for example, today, you're looking for how to move your relationship forward or move your love life forward, but you know that you're a person of substance, and you know that you have all these great things to offer, and you make your friends laugh, or you have, you're a really good listener, or all your wonderful qualities that you bring to a relationship, and you feel this when you're alone. But then when you look outside yourself to how are other people being successful in these kind of environments? Maybe I should be more like them. Maybe I should dress a little bit more like that. Maybe I should talk less. Maybe I should talk more. Maybe I should work on, being funny or something like that. You're blocking your own hopes from coming true by resisting what your inner guidance is a little bit. Don't do that. Don't wobble. Be strong. But you know what? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say the advice, because now we're going to ask for the advice, all right? We're going to ask the cards for advice. You got my personal advice, but maybe the cards will have better advice than me. I'm just a person. What do I know? Justice, balance. Oh, very nice. So the action you should take is look for maybe a way to blend the two. How does my perception of other people who've done this successfully inform what I know is true for me? When I look at how they do it, does it make me feel a little bit uncomfortable? Does it make me feel excited? That's how you use your inner guidance, to let other people's experience, your perception of other people's experience, inform your experience. And that justice, balance, is affected by, again, the High Priestess. You get this this justice, this balance, by by this card is ever so slightly, it's being productive with the justice by ever so slightly resisting fully going into your own High Priestess energy. That's probably healthy. Because if we all just wandered around in pure bliss of intuition and impulse to create, it would be chaotic, right? I mean, that's, of course, it's an ideal to be this way in yourself and to practice that energy in yourself. But in practicality, when you're trying to work in the world, you do have to look around you a little bit and see what would be healthy. I mean, maybe I just, in the middle of making dinner for my family, decide, you know what? I have the impulse to paint. I feel that my soul wants to paint right now. And then my children don't get fed, and I don't get fed. I'll get tired, I'll get burnt out, I'll get cranky, I'll yell at the kids, something like that. You can't always just be in your own impulse. I feel. Okay, I'll just make that happen. It's what's the word? Go. I never can think of the word when I want to use them. It's not participating well in society is the word I'm trying to come up with, and it's not coming to me. But it's not being a good member of the tribe, not being a good member of society, to totally ignore. It's almost psychopathic to totally ignore what's happening around you. You have to pay attention to the empathy and all the other things that come along. You know that you have to create some justice and balance by putting yourself just a little behind some in a little bit of way. I'm not talking about totally ignoring yourself. I'm talking about just take others into consideration. Don't push forward with yourself all the time. Every little bit, you have to just consider how you blend into the whole. I know you understand what I'm talking about. All right, I hope that this was useful to you in some way and that you get some joy from it, because I wish you joy.